Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, we're here.
All right.
Oh my goodness. Look at that setup there. That's amazing.
I know.
I just can't turn my fan on, John, because the posters are too high, mate. So I'm sweltering away here.
Wait, let me pull out my pull-up. I need to get my
I'm
pull-up.
sweltering in tropical Fiji.
Well, okay. So I'm just going to get started. And what we wanted to do here today is take you on a geographical and experiential tour of Fiji. Fiji is a place that I've been visiting pretty much every year for the last 20 years. I'm joined by Jon Piepkorn and Simon Doughty, who live in Fiji. Jon works for Taveuni Dive Resort, and Simon Doughty works for Volivoli Beach Resort. Two of the best places to dive in Fiji, but there are many more. So first of all, what I'll do is share this lovely PowerPoint presentation and take you on a little guide around Fiji first, and then I'll switch to Jon and Simon to talk about their areas of expertise. So I'm just going to, if you click twice, you can maximize the size of that PowerPoint display. So just to give you an idea of the layout, Nadi is where most people would arrive in Fiji from international destinations. It's one of two international airports in Fiji, but it's the main access point. The Mamanuca Islands are the closest group of islands to the main island of Viti Levu, and there's lots of family-friendly resorts there. The Yasawa Islands are a chain of volcanic islands, and there's a great mix of everything from backpacker to super luxury on the Yasawas. And on the north coast of the main island, on the sun coast of Viti Levu, is Raki Raki, where Volivoli Dive Resort is, with access to Bly Water. Then moving north to Savu Savu and the Namina Marine Reserve is another soft coral hotspot in Fiji. Around to Taveuni, which is famous for the Rainbow Reef. Down south, Kandavu is famous for the diving in the Astrolabe Reef, and we'll get on to all of these in more detail later. And then Benga Lagoon, which Fiji, of course, is famous for the shark dives. I'm just going to play a video now, and hopefully it will have loaded by the time I've got to this. And we'll play. Okay, so the colors in that video really just speak to Fiji for me. It's that is what I first fell in love with when I first went diving in Fiji. Not just the colors of the soft coral, but all those beautiful anthias and pretty reef fish. We'll move along here so that we can get through all of the content that we have. Starting with the Mamanukas, which are the closest group of islands to Nadi Airport. This is a great place to try diving for the first time, or take your kids diving for the first time. There's lots of resorts there that will do, junior open water certification. And they're very shallow lagoons, very clear, warm water, great place to discover scuba for the first time. The Sawa Islands, the next group of islands north, there's a mix here, as I said earlier, of very basic backpacker accommodation through to ultra luxury private island resorts. One of the main attractions here for divers is sister resorts, Barefoot Kawata and Barefoot Manta resorts. On Barefoot Kawata, there has been a very good shark dive established by a renowned marine biologist called Thomas Vigneault, called The Awakening. And it is a fantastic shark dive experience. It's been set up so well that you can even do it on a Discover Scuba experience. So there is 2 levels, one at 10 meters, one at 20 meters, very clear water, great for photographers. And you can also experience the shark snorkel there as well. A little bit further north, Barefoot Manta is positioned near a channel that is frequented by reef mantas between May and October. So that's a very, very popular place for people that want a manta experience. Savu and the Namina Marine Reserve, another beautiful soft coral diving area. The Namina Marine Reserve is just one of those beautiful, beautiful soft coral parts of Fiji. It can be accessed from Savu, and one of the most famous resorts there, of course, is Jean-Michel Cousteau Resort. You can access it from slightly less 5-star resorts as well, and it's also accessible on liverboard. The only liverboard in Fiji at the moment is the Naya, which has been operating there for many, many years as a fantastic liverboard operation. I'm going to hand over now to Jon Piepkorn, who is from Taveuni Dive Resort, and to tell you all about the Rainbow Reef.
Thanks, Deb. Up north, and I just want to mention about Namena as well. It's one of the very few marine protected established areas in the Fiji Islands, and you actually need a pass to dive there. And we're currently we're working with the Fijian government right now to establish Rainbow Reef, which is up between Taveuni and Volivoli, as the second marine protected area in Fiji. So, well, outside of the shark dive. So it'll be the biggest of all of the marine reserves in Fiji. So Rainbow Reef, one of the top 10 diving destinations in the world, consistently rated, and the name says it all. It's and Simon will tell you too, Fiji's the soft coral capital of the world. And when you come and dive, you'll see the soft corals in all the colors of the rainbow. So along with the soft corals, the diversity of marine life we have in the area is amazing. So we get people to come, and if you're looking at the slide there, on the left-hand side, that's a great white wall, which is typically also rated one of the top 10 or top 5 dive sites in the world. And people fly to Fiji and they come to Taveuni just to dive this dive site. Keep in mind, if you're coming up, check with us, check with the resort you've booked in with, because there are specific times that you can and cannot dive it. And we don't want you to come up and not be able to see this amazing site. It's a wall, and it goes from about 20 meters down to about 80 meters in depth. And I remember Simon and I were there one time, and a good story. And the water is so clear you can lose track of the depth. That's what Fiji is all about: the clear water, the corals, and you just get mesmerized by the coral, and you don't even realize that all of a sudden you could be at 40 meters deep or more, right, Simon?
Story goes.
Yes, so we hear. But anyway, Taveuni is phenomenal. We've got over 24 dive sites up on the Rainbow Reef, 24 charted or named dive sites, and the exploratory diving that we can do is even more. So if you come to stay, I wouldn't stay less than a week, and up to 2 weeks, you would not run out of dive sites to see. So.
Brilliant.
Yep.
Well, let's, Jon, I'm hoping you can help describe the amazing shark dive experiences in Benga Lagoon.
Oh, most definitely.
So there are several shark dives in Benga Lagoon. So Jon, I'll let you take it from here.
All right. So we a lot of times, and people always talk about diving Benga. And Benga is an island off the south coast of Viti Levu, where Benga Island has Benga Lagoon Resort as well as Royal Divui Resort, and similar about Royal Divui again, where Fiji can go from a backpacker type to 5 stars plus. So out on Benga Island, you've got a definite chance to dive with the tiger sharks, guaranteed. I've been out there and we've had 10 tigers on one dive, and it can get a little bit hairy, but it's such an amazing experience. If you're a shark diver, you need to come down. But then on the mainland, if you don't want to come out to Benga Lagoon proper or Benga Island proper, right off the mainland, which is about 2.5 hours from Nandi, about an hour from Suva. I think Simon and his crew bring people down is about 2 hours or so. You've got Aquatrek and Benga Adventure Divers. And they all do their own different dive sites, so you're not smashed in with divers. And so along with the Yasawas that Deb talked about, I've done all of these different dive sites. Wherever you choose, you're going to get such an incredible experience. I was out, and luckily during this whole world chaos that's going on, I went over and went diving with Benga Adventure Divers. And being the only guest on the boat with the crew was the most phenomenal photographic opportunity I've had ever with the sharks in Fiji. And I think we had 40 bull sharks and 3 silver tips, and I can't even count the black tip and white tip and gray reef sharks that we had. So if you're a shark fanatic, definitely come over to Fiji. We've got at least 5 shark dives for you.
Okay, thank you, John. I'm going to talk a little bit now about Kandavu. Kandavu is possibly the least known dive region in Fiji. Excuse me. Basically, Kandavu is all about the Great Astrolabe Reef, one of the longest tropical barrier reefs in the world. But unlike many barrier reefs, including our own here in Australia, it's less than 1 kilometre from shore. So you're less than, 10 minutes boat ride to the drop-off. And the drop-off is about 4,500 meters. So it's unlike any other part of Fiji. It goes into very, very deep water, meaning that you get a lot of pelagic action. And by pelagic action, one of the main draw cards is mantas. There are mantas there year round, and it's one of the very few places in the world where you can experience encounters not just with reef mantas, but oceanic mantas. Reef mantas are more frequent, obviously, and I'm told by the dive guides there that you have a 90% chance of a manta encounter diving on the Astrolabe Reef. And the reef itself has both cleaning stations and feeding stations. So that's why there is year-round action. The mantas that frequent here have been tracked by one of the Project Manta scientific research programs, and most of the mantas here are also seen up in the Yasawas at the popular snorkel sites there. And that's between May and October. The other pelagic experiences you will have here, you'll see big fish like tuna, you'll see marlin chasing them, and you'll see schools of giant trevally, and of course sharks. And the sites themselves are very pretty, being next to deep water, nutrient-rich water. The corals are beautiful. I'm just conscious of running out of time here and leaving enough time to talk about Raki Raki next. But one last thing I wanted to talk about in Kandavu was humpback whales. Now, in the last 5 or so years, the numbers of humpback whales have been increasing, basically doubling every year. So in the old days, Fiji was quite the center for whaling, but since that stopped, quite some time ago, the numbers of whales in Fijian waters have been increasing. So they've stopped bypassing it on their way to Tonga, and they're hanging around. And these days off Kandavu in those deep waters, most days the dive guides will look out for whales, and if they see one, they'll change the dive plan and let you jump in the water. So yeah, lots of reasons to put that up on your bucket list for diving. And Simon, I'm going to hand over to you now to talk about Raki Raki and Blywater.
Okay. Good. Thank you, Deb. Bulla, everyone. As Deb mentioned, we're up in Raki Raki, which is on the main island, which is a really good benefit for us, obviously. You land in Nanmi typically, as Deb mentioned earlier. So we're about a 2.25 hour scenic coastal drive. Go through farmland. You'll see lots of little stores, Fijian activity on the side of the road. So, yeah, it's a real a great opportunity sort of Fiji along the way as well. Not wasting any time in Fiji, waiting for puddle jumping flights to smaller locations. You're here, you're in Fiji, you could be in the water with us in a few hours from when your plane lands. The area we're in is known for the soft coral. We dive the Bligh water, Fiji's famous Bligh water, named after Captain Bligh, who came through shortly after the mutiny. We dive the Bligh water 365 days a year. We're right on the water's edge, and it's some pretty amazing areas. We have 7 different regions that we dive in. We have 5 purpose-built dive boats and over 80 dive sites. That's 80. So there's plenty of opportunity to see lots of different critters, both large and as Jon and Deb mentioned earlier, sitting right there. Another very, very good opportunity, especially for the macro lovers, is we have 2 house reefs directly in front of the resort. You just walk off the beach and you're there on the house reefs. Jam-packed with macro. We've actually had Jon up quite a few times over the last few months since we've been stationed on lockdown in Fiji. And Jon is a macro fan and very, very good macro photographer. And he's come up with some amazing photos. We've got some brilliant critters there. Seahorses, pipefish, frogfish, heaps and heaps of different types of nudibranchs, ghost pipefish, so a lot of really cool things. And we dive out 365 days a year, 24 hours, 7 days a week. So, and there's no charge, absolutely free. If you're staying with us on a dive package, you can just walk off the beach 24 hours a day and dive those reefs, which are fantastic. One of our main draw card areas is the Vatuira Marine Reserve. It's Fiji's largest marine reserve. It's nearly 10,000 square kilometres in size. And it's known for some of the amazing sites like Mellow Yellow, Black Magic Mountain, 6 in that area. Very, very famous sites which people specifically come to Fiji to dive. Not dissimilar to the reason they come to go out to Taveuni and dive the Great White Wall as an example. But a beautiful resort. It's a boutique resort, 33 rooms, all fully air conditioned, all overlook the water. Everyone has an ocean view. 5 swimming pools, 3 bars, 2 restaurants. So we're pretty lucky, really. We've got some amazing diving and amazing shore diving right off the beach as well. Full nitrox for everybody as well, so everything's there, nice and easy. And we have a fantastic Scuba.Digital special, which we're doing with Deb from Diveplanit. I assume you're going to talk about the packages, Deb, at a later date?
I'll put a link in the comments. But yeah, the password for the Scuba.Digital specials on Diveplanit is Scuba.Digital. So if you go to diveplanit.com and click on specials, you'll see our show specials there, and password to access them. So that's pretty easy to remember, Scuba.Digital. So yeah, thank you, Simon. And as you see, Fiji, I got everything from macro to humpback whales, and and soft corals and everything else in between. So what more could you possibly want? It is an incredible destination. And as I said, we know it intimately. I love Fiji. Diveplanit actually wrote the Guide to Diving Fiji for Tourism Fiji, which we update. Well, we've updated a couple of times now. And yeah, we're very passionate about the diving in Fiji. It's as well as the incredible diving there, the Fijians one of the most welcoming nations in the world, and you will arrive as tourists and you'll leave as family, seriously. And that sounds really cliche, but it's so true. I mean, everyone you meet in the resort you stay on or the cruise you might go on will remember your name from day one, and they'll remember what drink you want at 5 o'clock, and they'll remember what kind of diving you want to do, and they'll show you the critters that you want to see. It's an incredible dive destination. So we don't have much time left, but if anyone's got any questions, please fire away. I can't even see how much time we have left. Hang on. Oh, 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
But yeah, if you want to find out more about Fiji, you can visit Diveplanit.com and just search, navigate to Fiji, search Fiji, and hit us up. Just fill in the contact, just fill in the inquiry form, and we'll tell you anything you need to know.
And Deb's going to help you find the best place for you in Fiji.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Angelica.
Deb, before we go, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, John, and thank you, Simon, so much. And I know, Simon, you've been very busy this weekend with a big fishing competition. Did it go well?
We were 100% booked out and sleep since about 5 a.m. yesterday morning, and it's now 9:30 this afternoon or this evening. So I won't take much rocking tonight. But thanks, everyone. Thank you, Deb. Thanks to the people for checking in to check us out in Fiji. We hope we'll see you soon. Stay safe.
Thank you. Bolavanaka.
Well, there.
See you guys later.